Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalam. Brothers and sisters, assalamu alaikum. Anybody outside like to come in? If not, can you close the door please? Because the noise, jazakumullah khair. Somebody outside can help us. Jazakumullah khair. Bismillah. I have the honor, pleasure, and blessing to facilitate this conversation with a dear father figure, respected elder, mashallah, may Allah give him long life, the Qur'ani al-Banna. He needs no introduction, mashallah. Suffice to say a few things at least. He is the co-founder of Islamic Relief. He's founded a number of organizations and charities, including including Zakat House, Muslim Charities Forum, the Humanitarian Forum, which became the World Humanitarian Action Forum, and a few others that I'm sure he will mention. So forgive me if I've forgotten some of those. I have the pleasure and had the pleasure of working with the Qur'ani, first knowing him beforehand, before working together for many years as a, I don't know if I can use this term, spiritual leader, as a mentor, as somebody to go to as a young person as well. And then alhamdulillah, working with him for about 4 or 5 years in London and across some parts of the world, doing some humanitarian works, or development work, and traveling with him, alhamdulillah, being by his side at times. And mashallah, he still continues as he gets younger and younger, mashallah. May Allah bless him. So I won't take up much of the time. We're here to have a conversation with Qur'ani, so we'll give him a few minutes, inshallah, not too long, because we'd like this to be a conversation. We'd like you to ask your questions, the questions you've been wanting to ask for some time. When you've heard about the Qur'ani, now we are here with him, inshallah. We have about 30 minutes, 35 minutes, and then break, so inshallah we want to make the best use of it. So without further ado, I'll ask Dr. Hani just to say a few words, and inshallah open up for a conversation. Dr. Hani, over to you.
Alhamdulillah wa sallallahu ala Rasulullah. First of all, there's nobody born leader. You can make yourself a leader, or you can try to climb the way to become a leader. That's number one. Number two, for any one of us who started with no vision, no resources, no address, nothing. So for any one of us today, saying I have to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, said you are not going to be a leader. Because the leader is a creator of resources, not a user of resources. This is number one. Number two, know that in this field, it's a never-ending story. You start and you don't end. When you think that you reach it, the end, it's the beginning of the second generation, third generation, fourth generation, and fifth generation. Our mission is a never-ending story. Never-ending story because we are always dealing with human beings. This is another point. We have to have a message to deliver, a value to observe, and the philosophy of thinking to develop our idea and ideology. We can't function without having this. When we started 43 years ago, with no vision, no plan, no resources, nothing, start after two things. What happened in Syria, and the Syrian people here, Syria, was Hama, the massacre of Hama. This was a wake-up call for a young medical doctor to shift to something else. Worse than Hama is Sabra and Shatila in August, September. When we found the Palestinian, any Palestinian here? I am Palestinian, I am Syrian, I am whatever I am. Okay? It was shocking. Then the flood in Ethiopia came in 1983. We said we need to do something, but the media was lying. Was telling us it's only non-Muslims affected. When we visited Sudan in December 1983, we discovered that Muslims and non-Muslims are affected. We came back with the idea to start the first step with no fund, no office, no nothing. Alhamdulillah, and we started from nowhere to go everywhere. Okay, from nowhere to go everywhere. This is the beginning. So when we look at the first golden generation, I've got 5, but he's going to restrict my talk to 30 minutes or 40 minutes.
5 minutes.
I've got 5 golden generation, 1982 to 1991. We were depending on Allah, then the local community, then the families, the mothers and the fathers and the school children, secondary school children, and university students. This is how we started. Don't come and tell me, I want this individual, no. We started secondary school students and with actually university students from 1982 to 1991, and our action was leading the country. Don't talk about outside world before you cover your own land. And this is a message to some newly born countries. They go outside the leadership and don't tap into the local resources, which is very, very rich. I don't want to say the country because I don't want to criticize the government. 5 to 6 years, we never left UK. We were spreading or sowing the seed of our idea from Scotland to Southampton. Going around till the vegetation of the seeds came out and people start to see it. Once they start to see it, we went outside from UK to Europe to plant the seed because we have a product in Europe and in America. The vision started to come to us when we saw our trees growing and blossoming. It takes about 5 to 6 years legging it. We used to be very happy to raise the £100, the £50, the £200. Now you TikTok people, when you sit on the TikTok, you raise $1 million with no effort. But we used to raise the £100 with a lot of effort. We used to sleep in mosques. We used to take trains. We used to leave our family for days and months. And we used to have a very strong wife which is supporting us from home. You can't succeed if you choose the wrong partner, whether you are a male or female, whether you are the female who are leading or you are the male who are leading. Somebody has to look after the kingdom of yourself. This was the first generation, golden generation. Secondary school students and university. Second golden generation from 1991 to 2000. We started to employ young professional people to take us from this level to the global level. Most of the people who were employed in 1992 and 1993 were actually under the age of 30. Different. We had Muslims and non-Muslims from the very beginning. All the different mazhab were there. Even 1990-91 earthquake in Iran, we were the first to respond before the Husseyniyat in UK. Ahead, while people were saying, oh, Sunnah Shia, I said, nothing called Sunnah Shia. People were affected out. And we raised, at that time, I remember, £250,000 in about 3-4 weeks, with partnership with the Iranian Red Crescent. The vision started to develop after 10 years, after legging, after bending our back, after sweating, after the suffering of our family and their children, everybody. We used to leave our family for the whole month of Ramadan. No breakfast with them, no sahri with them for the whole month, and even sometimes no Eid with them. That's why when the seeds were actually thrown everywhere, the trees were blossoming everywhere. This is the second golden generation. But, and it's a big but, in 1993, we decided to go to the kitchen where the decisions are made. The global decisions are made, which is United Nations. And we did not register Islamic Leaf at the time easily. It was a fight. I said fight, it means fight. Because one of the ambassadors was blocking us. And we were told, come after 2 years. After giving them everything they want. Everything they want. Of those 3 Arab ambassadors, backstab us. One of them told us, go and change your name. I said, what? Too late for us now. I have my beard, I have the name of the organization. You know what happened? Can I stand up?
Please.
I went to the stage with no permission. With what? No permission. I took the microphone. This is the microphone. I spoke. The chairwoman said, "Sir, sit down." I said, "I'm not going to sit down. I am not going to sit down. I am here. I've given you everything you want. Anything and everything, and answer all the questions of the ambassadors in the room. What's the decision? I want the decision now." The room become electric, what do you call it?
Electric's good, electric's good.
Electric or shock or whatever it is. You know who saved the situation? Not the Arab ambassadors, the 3 Arab ambassadors. The Irish ambassador stood up and they said, "We have listened to the representative of Islamic Relief. They gave us all the evidences. All, I recommend them." So the endorsement came from somebody you think that he's not in your deen. He might be against you. No, amongst those people, very, very good supporters. And you got the restoration for 2 things. For our transparency, our delivery, and our stand. We are not going to leave our rights. We are going to take it now. And we were registered 29 March 1993. Because we knew at the time with the vision that you have to be in the kitchen where the decisions are made. You have to understand how to be a part of the people sitting on the table, not to be invited. This was 33 years ago. Brothers and sisters, TikTok people, ChatGPT people, AI people, are you in any kitchen? Or just giving your money to them to take a photograph? Waste of time. Waste of time. In 2000 or 2001, I was visited by something called DEC, the largest collective humanitarian response organization. You know what I said? Someone told me DEC is coming here. You know what I said? Who's DEC? Remember Jangir? Who's DEC? Because we were busy, working hard. Jangir was one of the 80s. Jangir was one of the team, schools, children, or what do you call it? Yourself, you, Shaheen, and Anwar, and the others, were in secondary school and then the university. This is the first golden generation. No, we're talking about facts. We did not wait for resources to be given to us. We created the resources. This was the second golden generation. The third golden generation, we were not shocked by September 11th. We decided to stand up and say we are a part of the Muslim community in the West. What happened to them affects us. We have to defend them. We have to face the camera. We have to go after the camera. But we have to be trained first how to speak to the camera. Took us about 5-6 people one day in London to be trained to know how to talk to the camera. 2002, CNN was reporting Islamic Relief in Gaza, celebrating the first anniversary of September 11 in Islamic Relief in Gaza. Hey, this how we stood up strongly, objectively, with a vision to say we are here. We're not going to bend our back to actually do something which is fake for all of us. Commemorating, sorry. Sorry, because his English is better than my English. Actually, he's commemorating September 11. I'm sorry. Sorry, camera. Sorry, camera. My English goes me. From 2000, the third generation is from 2001 to 2010. Actually, we register Islamic Relief in European Union because now another kitchen. Actually, we started to have this networking with different global organizations, World Economic Forum and UN and to be there, not to give them our money. Can you hear me? Not to give them our money, but to tell them here we can deliver on your behalf because we are capable of doing this. We have been decorated, 5 or 6 people. Jangir from the Queen, myself, Wasim Yaqub, Saleh Saeed, Fadi Itani, and Shahid. Decoration of the honor of those young people who have been working in this field. Because at that time, we were, and we still are, the champion. Once people realize that you are the champion, they will honor you. And they will take a photograph of you and them, so they will be honored as well. Anyway. So, as I said before, in the third generation, we were the leaders of the sector. We were ahead of most of the international non-Muslim humanitarian organizations. Because we have an access to Afghanistan, to Palestine, to Yemen, everywhere. So we became the leaders, or one of the top leaders. The fourth generation, I left the Islamic Relief, I was graduated. Because Islamic Relief as a scholar, or as a university, granted me my degree to go out to do something else. And Jangir and his wife signed my exit for my graduation certificate.
She knows how to defend.
Anyway, go and hide. So, he's hiding. So I was qualified. But to do what? I said 24 years is more than enough for humanitarian response. Enough is enough. We have to do something else. Because in this field, you have to keep rising, developing, and building. We started the Humanitarian Forum, Muslim Charities Forum, Zakat House, and other, something which were a lot of vacuum and gaps in the community. Some of them failed, but some of them succeeded. Even our organization nowadays, which is called World Humanitarian Action Forum, 2.5 people working there. I'm one of the 2, as chairman and as what do you call it? Non-paid executive. And the 3 halves are the full-time. The 3 halves are the rest of the people. But we do what we can because we have the vision, and we have the drive, and we have the message, and we have the ability to understand our role. We have a role to play, and we have to play it. This is after my graduation. I'm not going to carry on with the 4th, 5th, and 1st, 6th generation. But when you look at this book, I said we are an organization of 2.5 people. This is our second book to produce. The first one produced 2023, actually, and is being translated now into English. The second one was a response to the the Derna cyclone in 2023, and this is the one in partnership with Islamic League. There is no champion, maybe 10 or 15 people. This was a workshop organized between East Libya and West Libya, because we have to get the two groups together in one room by Zoom. Then we changed it into this book, which is a guide for us. Brothers and sisters, if you want to stay, you have to deliver what the decision and policy makers can read. They read books. They read research papers. They don't read TikTok and images. Sometimes people will tell me, why you waste your time producing books? Nobody reads it. No. The policy makers and the decision makers reading everything in detail and reading even the blueprint. Because at this age of ours, we have the ability and the resources and the wisdom and the vision to review all the definitions, to produce our own definitions, to create our own philosophy, actually, and to change, because we are change makers. This is actually what we need to understand and be confident in ourselves of doing that. So I'm going to stop, because he's asking me to stop that, but what I'm saying, I don't give this for free. You know why? Because I'm begging for the pound after 43 years working. The cycle took me back to the beginning of my journey of standing in front of the mosques, Birmingham, Manchester, and others, to collect the penny and the pound. And if you take it for free, you will never read it. But if you pay me the £10, you will read it. I conclude that, and Jazakumullah khair, I ask you for the question. And I give you the opportunity and the right to do that. Roast, grill, and boil me. When they want to boil me, I'm available. To roast me, I'm available. And, because I'm a roaster. Or to grill me, I'm available. But you'll be astonished that you'll never be able to do that, one of the three. Okay.
Jazakallah khair, Dr. Hani, barakallah feekum. May Allah reward you and give you good health and long life, inshallah. Those who know Dr. Hani and those who don't, I'm sure you can have Dr. Hani speak for hours on end, mashallah. It's a long history of lived experience and mashallah, many stories. But we'd like to have the opportunity for you to ask the questions of Dr. Hani, and he can elaborate on some of those stuff that we had to cut him off. So please, the floor is yours. It's a conversation. So please, sister on the right, go ahead.
Stand up as a leader. Loud voice.
Yeah,
Come in. Let the public to see you as a new champion. Tell them.
Yeah. Assalamu alaikum all. Jazakallah khairan so much for your talk. It's an honor to hear your experiences, your lived experiences. My name is Mara Khan. I'm the head of advocacy at Human Advocacy. And if I'd been in a similar room to you guys, you probably heard me ask this question again. But so I kind of am here with the message and vision to present is that the charity sector needs to change. We need to shift from purely humanitarian aid to one that encompasses sustainable development projects. But I'm saying that without advocacy, you cannot even do the sustainable and aid projects. So my question is that until our institutions start addressing the root causes of persecution and oppression, we're not truly serving our beneficiaries. There's a cycle of aid dependency, and essentially we're living to keep our institutions alive rather than the values, which is meant to be to serve the people. And so everyone said this, by the way, in this conference many times, so I'm not saying anything new. But my question is to you, Sheikh.
I'm not sure. I'm brother.
Yeah, brother. But to what extent do you agree that the charity sector must change and the philanthropy sector must change to include advocacy? Because we're living in a time where, for Gaza, for example, until the occupation ends, how can we say that we are serving the Palestinian people and the persecution will end? And I personally just don't see how we can continue being in the sector without addressing these systemic issues. So yeah, that's my question.
Alhamdulillah,
Should I
Alhamdulillah.
stay?
Yeah. First of all, advocacy is a part of our mission. Alas, can't go without it. 3 ways of doing advocacy. Either you do it alone, which make you more vulnerable, because sometimes you want to be seen that you are the one who create the statement. This make you very vulnerable. The best is to do it with the collective. Even if you develop the statement, edit it, spend effort and money to do it, give it to your partners. It's not about who is first, it's about how we become all of us together. It might take you a week or 2 or 3 to let everybody to have the right to edit it. To have the right to edit it, in spite of the fact of your idea. This second way of doing it. The third one is to hire a company who is very specialized in advocacy, and you pay for them on your behalf so they can spread your advocacy message. But we cannot at all live without having advocacy. I agree with you 100%.
Yes, brother, تفضل.
Maybe it's a bit building. Assalamu alaikum.
The camera is seeing that it's following you.
Yes.
Go ahead. Your question.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Abdul Jawad Waraki.
This way.
This way?
Yes. Because the camera is, can you see the cameraman?
No. Oh, yeah. I'll try to look into the camera.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Here?
Yeah, go on.
Bismillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Abdul Jawad Waraki. We're currently building a chapter of Mercy Mission in the Netherlands. And I was curious, maybe also building on the last question. You managed with Islamic Relief to build a professional organization. And I was curious, how did you succeed in building this when our community, is my lived experience, we're very used to emergency donations, 100% donation policy, so every penny that we bring into the organization has to go to like the food packages, etc., etc. And then of course, like if you want to be lobbying, if you want to do advocacy, then of course you need to pay people or need to pay a firm, as you said. You need to pay pay experts to bring that message and be more effective. And inshallah, that penny can do much more than if you give it directly into a food package. So I was just curious, because I think it's a challenge nowadays to bring this story, but I think it's now easier than in the days when you were collecting and going to the mosques and building Islamic Relief. So I was very curious, how did you succeed in telling this story? Did you tell the story? What was the narrative? How did you succeed in doing this?
First of all, professionalism is accountability. There's nothing just you have to take it a degree from the university. It's your performance. If you are yourself delivering what you are promising, you are a professional man. It does not need you to go to have a degree or become a professor. It's number one. Actually, sometimes we define professionalism wrongly. That's why I said you have to go back to the definition of themselves. Nothing on earth whatsoever called 0% admin cost. Unless you go to heaven. Allah will feed you, will clothe you, will make everything for you. Don't play game for fundraising, especially with me. That's why I know some of the organizations hate me and they never invite me to their platform. And even in zakat by itself is an institution. You know why? Because Allah said, you have al-amilin alayha to administer. How you write the data for the people who need zakat, how you collect zakat, how you spend zakat. You come and tell me there is no administration. Who told you that? Well, Amin Alayha is one of the 8 categories of zakat expense, because zakat is an institution by itself. And Baytul Mal in the good old days has people working and they're being paid. Even the Khalifa, the first and second Khalifa, were actually giving their salary from Baytul Mal if they need to have the livelihood for their family. So these kind of things actually if you are honest, if you are transparent, you know the connection between you and the community will be very strong. They'll bond with you. Many times they accuse Islamic Relief of spending 30, 40, 50%. Wrongly. I said, keep them alone. Don't respond to them. Don't respond to them. Still people up today trust the people who are more honest. Sometimes I say, we say, sometimes the non-Muslim organizations are more honest by saying we spend 30%, 25%, 40%. Because they calculate everything. But we want people to listen that we are spending nothing to fool the people. And when I left Islamic Relief, when I was qualified from Islamic Relief, alhamdulillah, they graduated me. Not they kicked me out, huh? As a gear. It's because of him.
He's joking. Should we go to the next question? Let's go to the next question, inshallah.
Okay. No, I didn't finish it. Islamic Relief grew from 90 million to 270 million. So it did not stop. And here is another challenge: succession planning. Leave when people respect you. Don't leave when people throw you by stones and by shoes and by slippers. And a lot of us are still sticking to our places.
Dr. Anas, تفضل.
Come on.
Come here, Doctor.
Yeah,
الله يبارك فيك.
I have to stand next to you.
استغفر الله. دكتور هاني هو معلمنا اصلا my mentor. When we started the Union of Medical Care and Relief Organizations, some of you probably heard about us. We were very small. I went to Geneva and met this mentor, mashallah. I learned a lot from him. Mentor. and I continue to seek knowledge, mashallah, from experts like him. Jazakallah khair. So, although now, my question, alhamdulillah, we're the largest Muslim healthcare provider in Gaza, alhamdulillah. I never expected this to happen within like 14, 15 years. We transferred all our knowledge from Syria, alhamdulillah. And Syria, by the way, is the worst crisis you can ever imagine. What I've seen in Syria, I never even seen in Gaza. In terms of the numbers. It's a huge destruction, but we transfer it down. We felt it's our duty to transfer it to Gaza and now going to Sudan. But my question, despite we have multiple chapters, and we're growing up, alhamdulillah, recognized by governments and all what you said about advocacy and everything that we learned from you guys. But at the board level, you know, I want to learn from you, and maybe you learned throughout your journey a lot of things, how to handle the board members who are not at the same level. So you find some board members above you, understand, they have the ambition. Maybe they are co-founders. You don't want to kick them out, right? And some of them are, you know, they're not just doing anything, because just happen they're co-founder, they're still there, and they like to attend, but they're doing nothing, or, you know, they don't have the same ambition of some big board members. Yeah. That's the first question. The second question, how to handle the board members that still like to be involved in the details, and working on the ground. This is still a struggle for us in all our chapters.
First of all, the governance, as you mentioned, in the blueprint of the job description of the board members has been from the very beginning, 1 term or 2 terms. If you don't attend, you are out. There's no nepotism. Because I attended one of the meetings, and the executives were fighting the board members and telling them get lost. And I was telling them get lost. I was Syrian organization. Although I was just boom. You know, when I boom, actually. And I was just telling the executive, what are you doing? They are the board. You have to respect yourself. So everything should be clear from the very beginning. Even when you choose the board members, you have to advertise it. Not by telephone, not by friends, not by relatives. But up till now, we still cook whom we choose. Unfortunately, we're in the 21st century, and in my era, 43 years. We still, I'm telling you, to make the advertisement, but we know that we are going to take Shahid, or not take Jangir, Shaheen, Kahraban. And we ignore. Up till now, we advertise for the jobs for the executives. but to have the people that are going to employ. This is not transparency. You are dealing with public money. Islam is about transparency. When the Prophet ﷺ was standing in the evening after a prayer with his auntie or Safiya, everybody was passing by him. You know what he told them? She is Safiya. Of course, Prophet. No, she is Safiya. She is Safiya. He is telling them it's dark, there is no light. There is no light. They cannot see the woman. But she is Safiya. Transparency. He's stopping it at the very beginning. If there is no transparency, you have what you call, unfortunately, and this is very, very essential. Governance is about transparency. Credibility is about transparency. Integrity is about transparency. Continuity and sustainability is about transparency. Even funding is about transparency. Yes, I'm taking 10%, 20%, 30%, but I'm telling people why. Because we have fatwa from ulama telling you if there's no way, there's no access, and you have to use a helicopter, you have to use the airplane, you might go to 50-60%. People are dying. They have done it in Mosul. They have done it in South Sudan because there's no access. You have to charter a plane, and the plane will have the drop. And with the drop, maybe 20-30% of the sacks will be destroyed. But tell the people. So transparency with the executives and with the board. And accountability. How can you make them accountable to you and you become accountable to them? Board, we had this discussion. He said, they are accountable to us, one of the board members, without mentioning the name. I told him, whom you are accountable to. You know what he said? To Allah. 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 We're all accountable. Are you playing games with us? We're all accountable to Allah. Don't run away from me. Okay, you will find those people. If you put the criteria and the job description, the clear job description of everyone, whether executives or board members, and advertise and make the choice transparently, you will have the problem all the time.
Any other questions for Dr. Hani?
I have not been roasted or grilled. I need somebody to grill me.
I dare somebody to, yes.
Yeah. I can give you the knife and the fork. If somebody would like to make any comment like Jangir, like Shahid, like other body, to give it their own experience, I shouldn't only be talking. Because to be very honest, come on, Shahid. Come on, Shahid.
It's
Come on.
Yeah?
Just 1 second. Don't ever think, and this is put at earring, that I am the founder. The foundation laid by the community, by everyone over the last 43 years. Whether they are supporter or donors or worker or somebody who are pressing us. All those people are contribution to the creation of the organization.
So mine is a bit of a comment and a question for you, Dr. Sal, because I want to hear your views, but also maybe to the room. So my name is Shahid Bashir. I'm the Deputy CEO of MUSLIM IMPAT based in Nottingham, UK. So I've been around in the sector a very long time. 93 when MH started, I was there. And I was fortunate enough to have had people like Dr. Sahib be an inspiration and then a mentor for me. So many of you here, and I know this in the sector, see him as the godfather. For me, he's also a teacher. So the thing that I want to talk about now, it's about zakat. I've seen a fundamental shift in how Muslim charities are treating zakat. I think it's become a bit of a plaything for fundraising like the 0%, which was nonsensical. But more than that, I'm worried now about the number of secular large organizations that are coming into this arena. Muslims are extraordinarily generous, particularly, I mean, it's not just in Britain, it's the same in the US and everywhere, the most generous community. So I can see where this comes from. But I'm concerned where this is going. And I sometimes think people like myself may have been party to accelerating this in some shape or form, where we found access into places in Gaza extraordinarily difficult, or some parts of the world where we couldn't work. Mostly not because we physically couldn't get it, but because of the legislation and sanctions and all of the nonsense that was going on. but we find ourselves then funding UN bodies. Now, I'm not for a moment saying here that this is a bad thing. There are very good reasons for doing it. We work with IOM at the moment, which is critical. But overall, I am concerned that some of our funders are beginning to question, well, what is the role of Muslim NGOs? You're not small, you're substantially sized, collectively you're quite large. Why do you not have the ability to do what some of these larger agencies can do? And I don't blame those donors from leapfrogging us and donating directly to those agencies.
Yeah.
And we need to think more about this. I just wanted to hear your views about this, and maybe some of the views from the room, because when I speak to people of my generation, people who are in the sector 20, 30 years ago, I can see that they're all worried about it in the same way as I am. Because for us, zakat is not just a charitable giving like sadaqah. It's an institution in itself, and we will be damned if it falls. It's as simple as that as Muslims, because we will be the generation that tore it apart. It may not have been a pillar before, but you knew what a pillar looked like. And I sense that we're changing the shapes. So that was a comment and a question.
So zakat, if we're talking about zakat especially, is one of the 5 pillars of Islam and is a community building pillar, empowering pillar. If we do not regulate it, make policy for it, it will be drained. Some people are just throwing it out to get rid of the responsibility. Haram. I'm saying in my own view, and I'm not a scholar, this is haram. You have to see what kind of impact that your zakat contribution will be. When the man came to Umar, 2 people. One of them was actually helpless. Umar gave him the zakat. That's what he needs. The second one, he doubled the giving to him. They asked Umar, why this one you give him just the amount of money and the other one you give him double? So, because the other one has the ability to invest in himself and in his family and in his community. That's why I give him the chance, give him more money to do that. Here is we have to question ourselves as donors. What is the impact of our zakat? I'll tell you something, Brother Shahid. I was asking somebody this morning about how many organizations, charitable organizations in the room, and how much there is. Some of them told me there is £1 billion. Listen, take it right or wrong. What is the impact of spending £1 billion every year by this organization? Impact is not about spending. Impact is about changing the lifestyle of people, of the community, of the culture, of the values. It's very important. Unfortunately, nowadays, with what's happening, some mufti are just not being given the right questions, but they were giving us the wrong fatwa. That's what they were talking about it in one of the sessions for zakat this morning. Zakat is not about getting the money and the food to the people. Zakat is about empowering people. Okay? And zakat is da'wah, is history, has soft power for all of us. So really, we need to sit as collective. I'm saying again and again and again, when I was qualified from Islamic Relief or graduated, we wanted to do the collective. That's why we did the MCF, the Humanitarian Forum. And we're still struggling to convince people to come. No. You don't trust us. Why? Why you don't sit down with us? Like, actually, let us have a private meeting, closed door meeting, to look forward for the next step, the next generation. If we don't want to be seen that we're working together, at least exchange the information together. Come and give me your experience in how you use zakat and how you spend zakat. Come and give me your experience in advocacy. Give me your experience in development. Brothers and sisters, the money is not ours. It's not our jama'at. It's not our group. We belong to the community, and the money belongs to the right holders. And the right holders are the poor and the needy and the widow who are paying our salary. This kind of responsibility and feeling has to be there inside the heart of the individual who are actually claiming that he or she are saving and helping people. We have tarbiyah, cultivation. We have to start collectively to cultivate the younger generation. Because to be very honest, I'll conclude because I know that your body language.
There's another session starting in 2 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, no, we can start 3 minutes. Okay. Cultivation means you do not cultivate for today. Cultivate for tomorrow. إذا قامت الساعة وكان في يد أحدكم فسيلة فليزرعها. If the hour is here and the sun is rising from the west and you have a small tree to plant it, plant it. Don't wait for the result. Here, cultivation of young people are most important. And cultivation of them while you are in position. Don't tell me when I retire, I will try to train people. You train people while you are in position, when you have authority. Now, in each job description, brother and sister in the room, put this point. You have to train handful or a dozen of people why you are a CEO, why you are a director, why you are a manager. Otherwise, your KPI, you will fail your KPI.
جزاكم الله خير دكتور هاني بارك الله فيك. Just show your appreciation.
No.
We ran over time.
My appreciation is to give me some money.
We have a very important session. We have a very important session happening literally in 2-3 minutes in this room with the awesome organization. We have the minister from Syria.
Awesome.
Yes, from Syria, inshallah. Jahangir, would you like to say anything about the session?
Well, we have the Minister of Disasters and Emergency from Syria.
Right.
And with awesome Dr. Anas, who will be sharing a session about the health reconstruction and the next stage of this wonderful opportunity that presents itself in the next stage of Syria. So